Hello, welcome back to Holiday Greek, and today we have another piece of news. I'm also preparing a longer thing. Tomorrow I will hopefully be able to give it to you, which is a story about Greek Easter, so don't miss that. Okay, so here we are talking about Athens and how Athens is becoming a center of technology in Greece. First, I will read you the Greek text, and then I will give you the translation, and then we will discuss all the words. And at the end of this, we also have, like always, two quizzes. One will be here in this video, and one will be on my Substack. Go there, subscribe, then you can have another quiz. Okay, let's begin. I will read you the text. First, the Greek text. And you can see how much you can understand already. Ο ελληνικός τομέας τεχνολογίας γνωρίζει πρωτοφανή ανάπτυξη με τις επενδύσεις σε νεοφυείς επιχειρήσεις να σημειώνουν ρεκόρ κατά το τελευταίο έτος. Σύμφωνα με πρόσφατη έκθεση, η Αθήνα συγκαταλέγεται πλέον ανάμεσα στις πιο δυναμικές ευρωπαϊκές πόλεις όσον αφορά τη χρηματοδότηση τεχνολογικών εγχειρημάτων, προσελκύοντας τόσο εγχώρια όσο και ξένα κεφάλαια. Ειδικοί αποδίδουν αυτή τη δυναμική σε μια σειρά παραγόντων, μεταξύ των οποίων συγκαταλέγονται τα φορολογικά κίνητρα για ψηφιακούς νομάδες, το σχετικά χαμηλό κόστος διαβίωσης σε σύγκριση με άλλες ευρωπαϊκές πρωτεύουσες, καθώς και η αυθονία εξειδικευμένου ανθρώπινου δυναμικού. Η κυβέρνηση εξήγηλε πρόσθετα μέτρα στήριξης με σκοπό τη μετατροπή της χώρας σε ψηφιακό κέντρο αναφοράς για ολόκληρη την νότιο-ανατολική Ευρώπη. Okay, so this was really difficult. This is a C1 text. And from time to time we will also do this, right? We had a few easier ones in the recent past. And so now we have a really difficult one. If you find it too difficult, no problem. Listen to it anyway. Perhaps one or two words will stick. Otherwise, don't be discouraged. Eventually, you will reach this level and just wait for tomorrow, where we have an easier one again. So let's go now to the translation, and at the end, as always, will be the quiz. Ο ελληνικός τομέας τεχνολογίας, the Greek sector of technology. And τομέας is similar to sector, right? It means the area, right, like the sector, but it comes from tomi. Tomi is the cut, and sector is also the cut. This is why we talk of a section of something. A section of something is a part that you have cut off. You cannot say a tomeas of a cake, but it is in this case only the sector in business terms. Ο ελληνικός τομέας τεχνολογίας, the Greek sector of technology. Γνωρίζει πρωτοφανή ανάπτυξη. Γνωρίζει is knowing, literally, is experiencing. Πρωτοφανή. Proto means first, and phenome means to appear, to show, so is never before seen, is unprecedented. Ανάπτυξη, growth. Με τις επενδύσεις, with the investments, σε νεοφυείς επιχειρήσεις, in start-up businesses. Νεοφυείς comes from essentially fitevo, which is to plant something, and neo is new, so newly planted, right, are the startups. Επιχειρήσεις are the businesses. Να σημειώνουν, σημειώνω means to take a note. So they are, these startup businesses are noting, are taking notes of record. Record is the same word. κατά το τελευταίο έτος, over the past year. So the businesses are recording records during the last year. Σύμφωνα με, according to, πρόσφατη, recent, έκθεση, report. Η Αθήνα, Athens, συγκαταλέγεται is counted together with. It has this prefix sin, which means with, and lego means to speak, right? So it is spoken together with other things. Συγκαταλέγεται is counted. Πλέον, now, finally, ανάμεσα στις, among the, πιο δυναμικές, most dynamic, ευρωπαϊκές πόλεις, European cities, όσον αφορά, as far as something is concerned, regarding. Όσον αφορά is a thing you should remember as an expression. You count something as something. You count something regarding some parameter, right? Όσον αφορά. So, Athens is one of the most dynamic European cities regarding or as far as is concerned τη χρηματοδότηση. Χρήματα is the money. Δότηση comes from δίνω. To give money, to fund, funding. Χρηματοδότηση is the funding. Τεχνολογικών, technological, εγχειρημάτων, ventures. Εγχείρημα is the venture is the try, is something that you try to do, some business that you are attempting. Προσελκύοντας. Προσελκύοντας means attracting. And it comes from elxi. Elxi is the attraction, is also the gravitational attraction, for example, or the attraction of two magnets to each other. And elkiondas is this form that means something happens while something else is happening. Τόσο εγχώρια, όσο και ξένα. This is another interesting grammar point, another interesting fixed expression. Τόσο, όσο. So it means both this and the other thing. Τόσο εγχώρια, όσο και ξένα. And ξένα means foreign. Xenos is the foreign person. This is where xenophobia comes from, the fear of strangers. So in this case, xena is not the stranger capital, but the abroad, the foreign capital. Κεφάλαιο is the capital. Interestingly, κεφάλι is the head. And capital also comes from head in Latin. So it is the same word. Ειδικοί. Specialists, experts. Ειδικός is somebody who is a specialist or an expert. Αποδίδουν, they attribute. Αποδίδω means to attribute something to something else. Αυτή την δυναμική, this dynamic, this momentum, σε μία σειρά παραγόντων, to a series of factors. Παράγοντας is the factor. Also in mathematics, when you multiply things, everything that you multiply is a factor, is a παράγοντας. Comes from παράγω, which means to produce, right? So a factor is a producing element. Μεταξύ των οποίων, among which, συγκαταλέγονται, we have it again, are counted, τα φορολογικά κίνητρα. Φορολογικά, we had this in the past in one article. Foros are the taxes. Φορολογικά is related to the taxes, the taxation. Κίνητρα. Κίνητρα are the incentives. Κίνηση is the movement, and κίνητρο is what initiates a movement, the pushing force behind the movement. So it is the momentum, is the incentives that produce the momentum. Για ψηφιακούς νομάδες. For ψηφιακός, digital, comes from ψηφίο, which is the digit. Νομάδες, nomads. Το σχετικά χαμηλό κόστος διαβίωσης, the relatively, σχετικά, relatively, χαμηλό, low, κόστος, cost, διαβίωση. And vios is in ancient Greek the life. Diaviosi is the through life, throughout the life. And this means living costs. Se syngrisi, in comparison. Syngrisi is comparison. Syngrino is to compare two things. Comes from krino. Krino means to judge. And this is where, for example, critical thinking comes from. And syngrisi is to judge together. Again, the prefix syn means together. Syngrisi, to judge together, to compare. Με άλλες, with others. Ευρωπαϊκές, European, πρωτεύουσες. And πρωτεύουσα is the capital city because it's the first city. And protos means first. So πρωτεύουσα is the first city, is the capital. Καθώς και, and, together with, as well as. Η αυθονία. Αυθονία is the abundance. Εξειδικευμένου, of specialized. This is similar to the ειδική we had at the beginning of the paragraph, right? It contains the same word. Ειδικός means special, specialist, specialized. So ειδικός is the specialist, and εξειδικευμένου is made into specialized, something specialized. Ανθρώπινου δυναμικού, human resources. Ανθρώπινο, human, δυναμικό is the dynamic, but here it means the resource. So ανθρώπινο δυναμικό means human resources. It's a standard expression. Η κυβέρνηση, the government, εξήγηλε, has announced. And this comes from exangelo, and angelo means to announce, exangelo, to announce out, to announce to the outer world, to the outside. And this is where angel comes from, because angelos in Greek, angel in English, is the messenger of God, the one who is announcing the will of God. Remember how the angels, for example, announced the birth of Jesus to Maria or to the shepherds and so on. So these are, the angels are the announcers. And so here, exingile, the government announced. Πρόσθετα, additional. Μέτρα, measures. Στήριξη, of support. Στηρίζω means to support, to hold something up. So you can also hold your grandmother up, perhaps, who is weak and in danger of falling over. Then you can give her a hand to steady her when she walks. And this is also στήριξη, right? So it is support. Με σκοπό, with the aim of. Σκοπεύω means to aim. You can also use it to really aim a weapon at someone. But in this case, it's the purpose. With the aim, with the purpose. Την μετατροπή, the transformation. Meta means always change, something changes, something becomes different. Μετακόμιση is moving your house. And μετατροπή, τροπή is the change, so is the change into something else, the transformation. Της χώρας, of the country, σε ψηφιακό, again digital, κέντρο, center, αναφοράς, comparison or reference. Κέντρο αναφοράς is a center of reference. Για ολόκληρη, for the whole of τη νότιο-ανατολική, south east, the four directions. Βόρειο is north, νότια is south, ανατολικά is east, and δυτικά is west. So νότιο-ανατολική is south east. Ευρώπη, Europe. And with this we are through the text. I hope you got something out of it. Let me briefly give you a few of these vocabulary words. If you want to see the full vocabulary, you can go to my Substack again, right? I write the address here. We have neophyes, start up. Επένδυση, the investment. Συγκαταλέγομαι, to be counted among. Το εγχείρημα, the venture or the undertaking. Προσελκύω, to attract. Εγχώριος, domestic or local. Τα κεφάλαια capital or funds αποδίδω to attribute. Το φορολογικό κίνητρο the tax incentive. Ο ψηφιακός νομάδας digital nomad. Η αυθονία the abundance. Εξειδικευμένος specialized. Το ανθρώπινο δυναμικό the human resources. Εξαγγέλλω to announce. Πρόσθετος additional and στήριξη is the support. Now, I will give you a few sentences in English and you translate them to Greek. Let's do this now. The Greek technology sector. The Greek technology sector. Say it in Greek. Ο ελληνικός τομέας τεχνολογίας. Never seen before growth. Unprecedented growth. How do you say this in Greek? Πρωτοφανής ανάπτυξη. Πρωτοφανής ανάπτυξη. How you say investments? Επενδύσεις. Επενδύσεις. How do you say a recent report? A recent report. Μία πρόσφατη έκθεση. Μία πρόσφατη έκθεση. How do you say one of the most dynamic European cities? One of the most dynamic European cities. Μία από τις πιο δυναμικές ευρωπαϊκές πόλεις. How do you say the funding of technological ventures? The funding of technological ventures. Η χρηματοδότηση τεχνολογικών εγχειρημάτων. How do you say specialists? Specialists. Ειδικοί. Ειδικοί. A series of factors. How do you say a series of factors? Μία σειρά παραγόντων. Μία σειρά παραγόντων. How do you say tax incentives? Tax incentives. Τα φορολογικά κίνητρα. Τα φορολογικά κίνητρα. And how do you say specialized human resources? Specialized human resources. Εξειδικευμένο ανθρώπινο δυναμικό. Εξειδικευμένο ανθρώπινο δυναμικό. And with this we are finished. Thank you and see you again next time. Bye bye.